What up, guys? You have all been basically jumping out of your comfort zone for a couple of weeks now, and today I decided to do somewhat of the same thing. I'm going to try something new, and I'm going to try and make a video lecture for all of you, which could be beneficial to you if you decide to watch it or not. At least for me, it's something new, and I'm really looking forward to get some feedback and see if it's even useful and if it's something I could use in the near future for all of you, or perhaps future students as well. Besides that, the main reason why I decided to make this video is because I've seen a trend rise, of which throughout the last couple of sessions, but also when I watch some of the videos, is I discovered that we all, or most of us, tend to struggle with asking questions, but also what are we going to do with those questions next up. So I'm going to try and cover these some solutions in the upcoming videos. And again, I already said videos because this first one is an introduction video. And I'm going to post 3 more with 3 different approaches when it comes down to asking questions. The first one is you want to ask rhetorical questions, so questions you don't want to reply from. The second one is going to be about specific questions you want to ask your audience and you're looking for a reply. And the third one is being more of a broad perspective, so you have your entire audience and you want the entire audience to reply by, show of hands, stand up, you name it. So those are the main 3 videos I'll post afterwards, and for me it's going to be important. I'm going to try and keep it as short as possible. I'm going to try and not retake any of these videos. I'm going to try and keep it as raw as possible as well, and I just hope this could help you out in the near future. But then again, it's my first attempt as well, so please let me know if these are useful to you. Before we end up with this video, there are a couple of general do's and don'ts when it comes down to questions. One of the things I notice when I watch some of the videos is that people tend to use fill-up words like so or like. And when it comes down, especially towards your opening question, you want to make it smooth, slick, and have the impact that you prefer. Therefore, it's important that you don't use these words at all. Of course, alongside of your story, these types of words might come about. But in the general opening question, you want to try and avoid these as much as possible. Now, if you take a look at, we have 2 different types of questions, one which you get a reply from and one you don't, right? It's important that you try and stick to one of these methods. And why so? Because when you ask, say a rhetorical question, so you don't want an answer, then you follow up with the question you want an answer from, then go back to a rhetorical one, fourthly you give another question, and you keep on switching between these 2 approaches. Your audience doesn't really understand what you as a presenter want from the audience. So it's important that you stick to either rhetorical questions or to specific questions along the way. Of course, it's okay to switch around like once, but don't go back and forth, because it's really confusing from the audience to tell what do I want from you, or what does he or she want from us at that point. This is something I've seen along the way. You ask a question to your audience, and your audience doesn't really know what this person in front of the classroom or in front of the auditorium wants from us at that point. Does he or she want an answer or not? This can easily be tackled. Thirdly, you want to make it understandable for the audience as well. We discussed the subject of credibility, right? So you're an expert in the field, you know everything about your experience or about a specific area of information. You don't want to just use baby words or language that everybody understands. Sometimes you need to show your credibility and use the terms used in the field as well. So the lingo, the language used in the field. You can still do this as in a question as well, or even if your question is just difficult. It's important to understand that you have to make the question easier again. The easier the question, the easier your audience will, or the easier it will be for your audience to actually follow along and answer the question for themselves too. So you can, if you have a difficult question, please feel free to ask it. But then continue by saying, okay, let's make it a bit easier for you guys. Think about, or you could also ask yourself, and then you continue with the easier metaphor or example, whatever you like to use. Fourth one is that you want to make sure you use the answer. Whatever they're saying, whatever the reply is going to be, even if it's something completely different from what you expected, make sure that the audience, that you use the answer, right? Otherwise the question doesn't have any purpose. And whatever you're doing on stage, it's important that your question has purpose. So those are the main 4 do's and don'ts, right? So make sure you think about those alongside. this is going to be the first video. Now I'm going to go through the upcoming videos with the 3 different approaches in there.